Episode 38. Receive. Control is freedom. The more control you can exert, the more free that you will be. The more free that you will be. On the stage, which is a sliver of time where you have a captive audience. You want to show them something very, very specific, and you don't want it left up to accidents. The most important thing is that the meta message, the deep message of what that time is describing or showing, to be very clear, even if it's dreamy or bizarre. The dream we're seeing, the absurd human conflict we're watching, is still just that which the composer is trying to show them. The dream they're seeing, and that takes control. You have to control your actors, the machinery, mechanisms, the lights, peripherals, first images, secondary images, language, tone, inner thoughts even, giving the performers reality to keep in their consciousness as it's happening. It's all really important. Inner reality for that freedom to occur, for the full realization of the message and the message above the message. The message. It's the same thing with rock bands, which I love. People seek out a leader, and once they have one, they fall into it. I've experienced this many times. They fall into it. And I don't say that with ego, it's a function. Somebody has to do that, or nothing gets done. In my case, I always had a strong vision about what my music was saying, and how it should sound, and the presentation on the stage, and how it should psychologically come across. Even the facial expressions. I once did a gig with an amazing bass player. Fantastic. And I really needed a bass player for this one gig. Terrific player. Someone I'd worked with in the past, and he approached me to say, I want to play in your group. I got a gig I could really use you for. I'm going to be in front of all these people in this club that is important. Yada yada. Blah blah blah. And he's like, yeah, sure, I get what you're doing. I know. Yeah, and the vibe is going to be XYZ. He knew I had my preferences and my work in theater. Music is theater, even if it's subtle. A powerful control is the difference between just chaotic noise and massive impact. Cool, man. Wear a dark-colored suit. And he showed up for the gig with a white shirt, button down, open, with some designs on it. And I don't know, he might have been wearing jeans. Nothing shabby, but completely not what we discussed. He put me in a position. It was funny. I mean, not terribly funny. I had to roll with it. But he played like he looked. He was like in a different show. And the messaging is confusing. I once saw a punk band which used this concept to great effect, because everybody in the band was a different persona. One person was a surfer, one person was astropunk, the other guy was dreadlocked. The band was fucking amazing. they had that shtick, it was mind-blowing, and their music was fantastic. It doesn't matter what form you're using. You could do punk, you could do ballet, whatever. What matters is how wrought, controlled, artistic, because it didn't fall into those pieces by itself. Or if it did, subsequent renditions of it were planned, controlled, and wrought. They blew my mind. They changed my life. I never heard music the same way after seeing this one fucking band. I did ask the bass player, who showed up in a frilly white shirt, what the deal was, and he acknowledged that he just felt like dressing that way. And unfortunately, it meant I couldn't trust him. Just like somebody won't be able to trust you if you show up in the wrong outfit for the wrong task. Life is too short, and everything is kind of a theater production. Reality is a type of production. Anyway. Show up on time, know your lines, and leave your presumed self at home. Or you can opt for a wasteland. A wasteland where everything is how you want it to be. I'm sort of walking through a wasteland because I'm not accepting the way things are, not so much. And so everything, every moment, is lacking and missing the mark. Is that just in my mind? Because I can't control it? Or is that how it really is, because of what and who is missing? I saw a guy across the street, a UPS guy, struggling to get a box up the stairs. And I opened my window and I said, "Hey buddy, you need a hand with that?" And he shouted back,
"No, I got it."
Who is that guy? My son could have been that guy, doing something good, getting the box up the stairs. In the costume of his theater piece. There's a kid staying with us, a few feet away from me, down. I haven't met him yet, but he's my son's age. And he's here studying and helping some old lady. Something good. Some good production. Some good piece of theater. Not this fucking dogfight. I think we cast ourselves. We decide who we're going to be, what we're going to wear, what we're going to do, how we're going to act, who we're going to be. It's acting. It's acting. It's acting. It's acting. It's acting. The good news, though, is that it's acting, and you can change it. You can choose it. I'm sure not in every case. Some people are too buried into their convictions that they're doing them, that they are who they think they are. And the good thing about really good actors is that they can be anybody. And that's fucking beautiful. There's something there that is truthful in the sense that all of this is somewhat mutable by our choices. Not all of it. Not all the time, but more of it than we think. When I see people choose murder, or drug dealing, or drug addiction, or dying stupidly, dying when all they do is cause suffering, dying when you don't have to, like you did, my beautiful son, my beautiful son. It's not a good feeling. It doesn't leave me with a very good feeling. I saw a drug dealer yesterday who was riding a scooter, a little scooter, but not a cheap one. He had a very specific outfit, just the whole thing. It was like if I had to write a piece of theater and make a drug dealer, I don't think I could even get that specific. He cast himself as the drug dealer, and I know he's a drug dealer because of where he's hanging out, his demeanor, his expensive toys, and his attitude. Because he's advertising. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. He's advertising his product, and the whole thing is designed, intentional, and self-created. If I was my son, or some other fool who was looking for heroin, or crack, or meth, but heroin.
That's who I'd ask.
Hanging out, dressed up, in their uniforms,
Openly dealing heroin.
on our streets. Now, I know most dealers these days make deliveries and perhaps
Try to keep it under wraps a little bit.
through their electronics. Anyway, we're being murdered, and the murderers have a uniform.
They have an outfit.
They have a role, just like the users. And we horrified parents, siblings, and citizenry
Stand on the sidelines with
our mouths agape, saying, how can this be? What's going on?
Not my little boy.
But everybody's getting fucked. Everybody, every race, every neighborhood,
And we're not one culture with thousands of cultures overlapping on each other
all getting fucked.
by these assholes.
While we dance around and don't talk about it. And it's just a piece of theater,
Where people really die.
while other people make a little bit of money off their death. And then some other people
Make a lot more
off
money.
of a lot of deaths. And then some other people are doing the same thing. It's like a production.
Right? Like where you have the producers. And then the directors. And then the actors. And then the audience. It's a shit show. We're all on stage. I'm always on stage. Performing my life.
On some level. Or I used to be. Now the stage is on me. I've been cast into this new role.
As grieving father.
And I can't control it. And I can't make choices out of it, even though I've been told I could. What I'm finding is that I have to... what was that word?
Receive.
Get out of my way. Leave my supposed persona
At home. And see what's here. I haven't been able to accept it yet, so the ride is not smooth. Receive. Just receive. Mother crying. Sister crying. Father crying. Just above the ground, everything is alive. Just below our feet, everything has died. The carpet, where those two realities meet, show us it's not two realities at all. that life and death are dependent on each other. Polarities like two notes vibrating in harmony, needing each other. Coming in and out of existence because of their dichotomy. It's not supposed to happen this way. You weren't supposed to die like this. I needed you. I needed you to be the last face I saw. The last living face. Mother crying. Sister crying. Father lost. Like an animal. Looking, searching, not for food anymore. You weren't supposed to die like this. Stopping your heart on purpose. I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't mean to. I wasn't thinking right. It's fucking stupid. It's too late, son. One more hit. One more hit. You'll be forgotten. Not by me, but by life. You'll become part of the carpet between life and death. Mother crying. Sister crying. Daughter crying. Father. Your father. You see. When I was just a mere lad in my 30s, I dragged myself to college. I wanted to study music, perhaps get a degree, teach people. Who knows where it would take me? But it was a big change in my life, because I no longer did what I wanted to do. I had to listen to other people, and I had to do what they wanted me to do. And there was this one professor. He was brilliant. He was old. He wore checkered pants. He was one of the most intelligent people I ever met in my life. But he wasn't easy to get along with. You had to do things his way. It took me a while to figure it out. He would hand out these outlines, and you had to learn those outlines. If you tried to interpret them or talk around them, it made him feel like you didn't get what he was trying to teach you. He He had a message. He had a program. He had a production. There was a test, and I was doing very well in this class because I buckled down, I fell in love with him. He was very supportive, but on this test, he wrote 10 of the questions on the back, and I didn't see those questions on the back of the test. It was half the test, and I got a 50, which would have meant if I got everything right, I would have got a 100. It brought my grade down. It brought it significantly down. I argued with him. I didn't see this. How could you put questions on the back of the test? Can I take it again? All that kind of shit. He told me you have to learn. You have to learn to expect the unexpected. You have to learn to understand that this isn't about you. I can't have you take the test, or I would have to have everybody who made a mistake take the test. You gotta eat it. I was so angry that I put on these dark glasses the next day, and I wouldn't look at him and I wouldn't talk to him. I was like a child in my 30s, a big spoiled baby, because I fucked up this one test. And it was on me. It was my fault. Right after that, he got very sick. I love this man. I still love him even though he's gone from this world. He wrote books which I read. He was one of the deepest motherfuckers I ever met in my life. And I never got to speak with him again because I was angry and he got sick right away after that, and I never saw him again. I don't have many regrets, but that's one of them. And one of the things that he taught me, that he insisted that I understand, was the concept of contrast. And when I put the word out and I said contrast, he said, that's the thing. That's the main thing. Contrast is how you know something went from one place to another. That something is different from what it was before. Contrast is what makes the artist understanding the change and creating that change. That's right, folks. Fancy feast. Boy.
So what do I leave you with? What am I saying? What am I receiving? I keep thinking there's something I have to do here. Some control I have to exert, impose, that's the word. I'm helpless. Powerless. I can only exert some power or some control over how I interpret it. I guess. But when I try to do that, when I try to interpret this, my son's death, the grief I feel missing him, moment to moment, year to year, it doesn't last. There's something else going on. And it is that idea of allowing what is there to be heard, to be listened to be felt. I fucking hate it.
There's no excuses. There's no excuses now. Everybody knows what this drug does. It's a swastika pointing in the wrong direction. Let's put it that way. It's bullshit. It's fucking death. And each and every one of us is responsible. Not pharmacies, not Mexico, not even your stupid ass friends, or these predatory dealers. They're all part of the problem. They're all making money on your carcass. But every one of us can say fuck you to that path. Mr.Nobody.
One more hit and then you're hidden. Another moment has just passed you by. You wanna be something, but you're afraid to try. One more hit and then you're hidden. When you speak in pictures. And when you move, make me warm inside. There was killing in the street tonight. So when you speak in pictures. There are vultures over bodies. Things are waiting until you walk by. It don't matter who is wrong or right. When there are vultures over bodies. Now you're walking in a wasteland. You don't care if it's day or night. You swore your love would never, never, never die. Huh? And now you're walking in a wasteland. I've been sleeping inside my mind. if you awaken. Another soul is now forgotten. What did you do with your precious time? And do you feel now any closer to the climb? Another soul is now forgotten. Another soul is now forgotten.